is journalist Holly Baxter and Donna, Dawson, a psychologist and a relationship expert. Ladies, good to have you both on the programme tonight. Donna, let's start with you. So childhood sweethearts, are they endangered species these days? What do you think?
Well, they might well be. I think you have to hit it lucky to even achieve that. I think childhood sweetheart relationships are an incredible combination of the familiar and in the intense. And familiar because you have all those incredible bonds that go right back to childhood. You probably knew each other's brothers and sisters, the families know each other, you went to the same social venues, the same schools, so you shared similar experiences and probably hit all the milestones of your young life.
It's a real pull,
around the
isn't
same
it?
time.
I mean, it's very nice to share that with someone, isn't it?
Absolutely, and also, when you meet somebody at that age, when the hormones are raging, your first love is usually the one you never forget. And so it's a very intense experience. And if you can survive, separation and maybe growing slightly apart and coming back together, you've really got the basis for something, because they say in psychology land that the ideal relationship is one that has a foundation of shared interests, outlooks, ethics, and the same worldview. And what we do is put on top of that some opposite characteristics that the other person offers that we haven't got. But if you have shared history, it's the strongest basis for a good relationship.
Good advice there. I have to listen to that. But so, Holly, why do you think a lot of young people, and of course you're here to talk from the younger generation, aren't settling down with, the guys and girls that you meet when you're at school or in university?
I think the thing is that I agree about having shared values and beliefs being sort of conducive to a great relationship, but I don't actually think you find that by being with your childhood sweetheart anymore. I think the childhood sweetheart, the idea is built upon really a different generation, where a man would have picked a woman at school, and then he would have built his life and she would have come with him. But when you have two different people with different ambitions, now it's very different, because it's better, in fact, to find that person when you've reached your own ambition, maybe in your 30s or your late 20s, and you find somebody where you've worked out through those previous sweethearts exactly what you want from life.
Do you think one set is happier than the other, Donna, or is it hard to say? Because when you certainly talk to people who are in their 70s and 80s and they've married their childhood sweetheart, they're very happy, they seem to be, don't they?
Yeah, and it seems to me that the other side of the fence is the people who haven't found a relationship and have done serial relationships often envy the couple who've kind of found each other and have made it work. In fact, I was thinking about this. Several of my friends married their childhood sweethearts.
Mine too.
I have one couple who are still together, and they've been married about 35 years. Another one lost her husband about 5 years ago, and never remarried. So I think that if you can find that and survive and grow together as you have been through your childhood, it's a very lucky thing. I don't think it's necessarily going out of fashion. I think it just depends on how well matched you are.
And Holly, it's obviously a technology issue too, because we've got the internet these days, so the world is your oyster. Your dating pool is no longer kind of your local village or town. But is choice a good thing when it comes to dating on the internet?
I think it
makes it harder, doesn't it?
It does obviously make it harder, because you have dating websites where you can go and log in and you see these people sort of set out like in a supermarket aisle or something, and you can choose a sort of...
It's not very romantic, is it?
Yeah. It's not entirely romantic, but at the end of the day, maybe you don't want to be carried away by romance, because actually what seems to be conducive to a successful relationship, as far as I can see in my friends, is being able to go through those previous relationships, finding out how to conduct yourself in a relationship. And if you've been with your childhood sweetheart, you may well have just been building upon the same sort of cycles that you've been doing since you were 15, and you don't have the chance to refine your own shopping list and then move on and get your own sort of way of doing a relationship that you share with someone else.
Not carried away with romance. I think we all want to be carried away to some extent.
Wouldn't it be nice? And also a bit of a rival, because Kate and William, the most well-known couple in the world, they're childhood sweethearts, aren't they?
Well, childhood sweethearts can break up and get back together. I mean, I think often they have to prove the course of time, or one goes to university or they go to different places. They're not necessarily just one person following the other. They can both be career people who just happen to hit it off and have those deep-seated experiences that have bonded them since early on.
You never know, Holly, that might happen to you.
Perhaps.
Look up your old address book.
Although I really hope not. My own experience.
Ladies, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Let's hope he wasn't watching.